Hello my dear students of second preparatory stage. أهلا بكم طلابنا الأعزاء لمرحلة الصف الثاني الإعدادي لمادة اللغة الإنجليزية. زي كل مرة وزي ما احنا عارفين إن حلقتنا تحت رعاية وإشراف وزارة التربية والتعليم. Let me remind you quickly of what we have talked about in the last sessions. خلوني أفكركم احنا اتكلمنا في إيه في الحلقتين اللي فاتوا. Mainly احنا ابتدينا unit 8 You are what you eat. This is the title of the unit. Mainly it talks about the healthy food, unhealthy food, what we should eat and what we should avoid eating, what we should eat a lot and what we shouldn't. كل ده احنا we tackled أو تناولناه بشكل مباشر المرات اللي فاتت. Again we will continue this today, okay? We will continue another part of unit 8, so get ready with your books and with your pencils, okay? هفكركم برضو باللي احنا عملناه المرات اللي فاتت للجرامر. We talked about some grammar lessons or grammar tips we have to be careful with. شوية حاجات في الجرامر المفروض ان احنا نخلي بالنا منها while using, like a lot of, the difference between a little and a few, the difference between some and any. كل ده we tackled in the previous sessions and we will focus on again today. Okay? كل ده هنركز عليه في الجرامر. هنركز برضو على unusual food أو الأنواع المختلفة من الأكل ومن الميلز ومن السناكس اللي موجودة not only in Egypt but also abroad في الخارج كمان وفي مصر. كل ده هنتكلم عليه النهاردة في حلقتنا. So get ready with your books and let's start our session. Okay, my dear students. Now let's clarify our objectives of today's session. Again, and we have to remind ourselves of the title of this unit, You are what you eat. And we have to be careful what we eat because this forms our shapes. لازم نخلي بالنا احنا بناكل ايه علشان بالتالي هنبقى في shape عامل ازاي. Okay? So, here, by the end of this session, you will be able to know and understand the following. For the reading part, we will read texts about unusual food. النهارده هتعرفوا معلومات عن meals و snacks I guess you have never heard about before. So this is the reading part, and for the speaking part, describing food, offering, accepting and refusing food politely, giving advice about being healthy. برضو هنكمل اللي احنا ابتديناه المرة اللي فاتت, how to accept food, how to refuse, how to make polite requests. كل ده هنركز عليه تاني النهارده in the speaking part. For the listening part, we will have a discussion about our favorite snacks, not only in Egypt, but also abroad or in the European countries. Language, again, we will focus on a lot, the difference between a few and a little, a lot, some, any. كل ده will be included in our passages and writing pieces we will read together. And for the writing part, we will read some paragraphs, okay, about country's diet and a paragraph about sleep. So, all of these will be included in our today's session. For the reading part, firstly, here we have a picture. Can you guess what does this picture refer to? Is it, for example, kind of vegetables or fruits? Can you guess? I guess some of you knew it or guessed it correctly. Yes, it's a kind of fruits, okay? And here we have the title of our article. It's called Unusual but Delicious. يعني حاجات مش من المتعارف إنها تبقى common ما بين الناس, but it's already eaten by people and somehow it's delicious for some people. Okay? So the first kind of the unusual food is this kind of fruits. Okay? So some food smells bad or looks. Let me circle with my pen here. Okay, here smells is the first new word. Smells means إن هي ممكن يبقى ليها رائحة كريهة. Okay, not smell اللي هو يشم. So some food smells bad يعني ممكن تبقى تصدر رائحة كريهة. Or looks unusual. Looks unusual يعني شكلها بيبقى غير عادي اللي هو مش متعارف عليه among people. So but still tastes good. Still delicious. Durian fruits. Durian fruits هو ده الاسم الفاكهة اللي قدامنا دلوقتي. Durian fruits grow in Indonesia and Malaysia. في دولة إندونيسيا أو ماليزيا بيتواجد النوع ده من الفاكهة. Some fruits can be 30 centimeters long. They are hard and green on the outside but soft and yellow on the inside. ده الوصف بتاع ال durian fruit. Some people don't wait to eat them because they smell terrible. So there is a piece of information here that tells us it's terrible by smelling it. Okay, it smells terrible يعني ريحتها كريهة مش محببة. But they are very healthy. بالرغم من كده ان هما very healthy مفيدين جدا. And taste delicious. It tastes delicious. طعمها حلو. People use durian fruits to make juice, ice cream or soup. Okay, so we can use durian fruits in juice, ice cream or soup. الشوربة أو الآيس كريم أو العصاير. This is the first kind of the unusual food. Let's focus on the second one. Can you see here the picture? Can you see what's inside the picture? Yes. What about this? Of course, it looks like fish. And what about this white thing? It looks like maybe cheese, maybe milk. And what about this brown thing? It seems it's kind of sauce or something like that. So let's see the description of this unusual meal. In the Philippines, okay, people eat something called champorado. Champorado ده اسم الوجبة اللي قدامكم دلوقتي with toyo for breakfast. التويو هو زي الكورن فليكس اللي انتوا شايفينه في الشوكليت ده. دي وجبة بتتكون من سمك بياكلوها في دولة الفلبين مع زي كورن فليكس بالشوكولاتة واللبن. ف it's very common and unusual there in this country. Okay, is sweet الشامبوريدو ده is sweet chocolate rice and toyo are small salty fish. التويو هو الفيش والشامبوريدو هو اللي زي الكورن فليكس. For most people it's unusual to eat sweet and salty things together, but it's popular there in this country. Okay, so in the Philippines it's very usual and common there. هما هناك بيحبوها. Okay. The third picture here, in China, people eat eggs that are months or years old. See here, is that the normal picture of the eggs? Definitely not. They seem horrible. They seem not. They seem like expired ones, or they seem like as if you are unable to eat. يعني ما ينفعش إنك تاكل حاجة زي كده. Okay, let's see the description of this unusual kind of eggs. They are called century eggs, and they are black and green inside. It's totally opposite from the normal eggs. To make them, عشان يعملوها الناس في البلد دي بالمنظر ده, people put fresh eggs under the ground for a long time. بيحطوا الeggs دي under the ground, like بيدفنوها كده تحت الأرض for a long time. Century eggs smell a lot. طبعا ليها رائحة كريهة and have a salty taste. وليها طعم مالح like the salty fish, but lots of people think they are delicious. بس مع ذلك معظم الناس in China they prepare it and they think it's delicious to eat. Okay, but of course it's totally unusual. So read the article again and answer the questions. Why don't some people want to eat durian fruits? ليه ناس كتيرة ما بتحبش تاكل durian fruits؟ طبعا according to the information we read together, because they smell terrible. ريحتها كريهة. What's unusual about eating champorado with toyo? ايه المختلف ان احنا لما ناكل الشامبوريدو مع التويو؟ ايه المختلف في كده؟ Of course, champorado is a sweet chocolate rice, while toyo are small salty fish. So it's unusual, of course, مش طبيعي ان احنا for lots of people يعني to eat salty and sweet things together. فده الغريب في الأكلة دي, ان هي حاجة مالحة مع حاجة مسكرة. Okay. For question number 3, in which two ways are century eggs different from normal eggs? ايه اللي بيختلف من ال century eggs وعن ال normal eggs؟ Century eggs are black and green inside. طبعا زي ما وصفنا ال colors بتاعتها, while normal eggs are white and yellow inside. Also, century eggs have salty taste, but normal eggs don't. Normal eggs don't have special taste. ملهاش مذاق معين. But century eggs have salty taste. Which two foods smell a lot? ايه اكتر حاجتين قرينا عنهم بيصدروا رائحة كريهة؟ century eggs and durian fruits. هما دول ال two kinds of unusual food that smell terrible. Okay, complete the meanings with the correct word from the article in bold. According to what we have just read in the article, we have to fill in the gaps using the suitable words. Space, things are different from other things of the same type. Unusual. Unusual يعني غير عادي، مش متعودين نشوفها أو ناكلها بالطريقة دي. Number 2, we space with our noses. Of course, what's the suitable word? Yes, definitely, we smell. Number 3, we space things when we put them in our mouth. So, when we do what, we put it in our mouth. For example, we taste يتذوق. Okay? I like this fruit because it tastes طبعا delicious. Delicious يعني ذات مذاق جيد. Okay. Ask and answer the following questions. What are some tastes and smells that you like and don't like? دي طبعا حاجة answers will vary or answers can vary، يعني الإجابات ممكن تختلف. I just prepared some of my answers for you and you can change definitely. I got ready with my opinion. We usually, when you are asked about your opinion about something, usually you can start with in my opinion or I think. يعني لما أجي أبدي رأي ببتدي بكده in my opinion or I think، يعني to make your answer more organized عشان نخلي الإجابة مرتبة أكتر. In my opinion, grilled chicken tastes and smells good, but I don't like sushi. It tastes horrible. Also, I don't like its smell. طبعا انتوا عارفين سوشي دي برضو Chinese food، أكلة صيني. What unusual food or drink have you tried? What was it like? Okay. What unusual food or drink have you tried? طبعا أنا هتكلم على my own experience. One day, I tried some Chinese food called zucchini. It tastes great. هو الزوكيني أصلا هي أنا دقتها as Chinese food، بس الزوكيني يعني الكوسة، خضار الكوسة. Okay, so that was one of the Chinese food I tried and it tastes good. Okay, here we have some words in a box and we have to complete the information below using the suitable words. Let me first clarify the meaning of every word for you, then we can think together to fill in the gaps. We have the first one, which is cakes, exercise, food, hungry, sleep, snacks, and tired. Okay. Cakes طبعا الكيك. Okay. Exercise هنا معناها التمارين اللي بنعملها كرياضة، الورك اوت. Okay. Food الغذاء طبعا، وهungry جعان، وسليب يعني ينام، وسناكس قلنا الوجبات الخفيفة ما بين الوجبات الرئيسية، وtired يعني مرهق. So here number 1, Ali eats too many space and doesn't do enough space. So can you guess what are the suitable words that we can use to fill in now? Can you guess? Ali eats too many what? Definitely it's too many cakes and doesn't do enough exercise. ما بيعملش رياضة كفاية وبياكل desserts أو حلويات أكتر, which is totally unhealthy. Number 2, Iman never eats fast food. مش بتاكل أكل من برا خالص. Or space, she feels space all the time and doesn't get enough. Okay, so let's check here the answers. She never eats fast food or snacks. She feels طبعا tired all the time and doesn't get enough sleep. Okay. Number 3, when Tamer is worried, he doesn't feel, yes, hungry. His mother gives him too much space because she is worried about him. So she gives him too much snacks. Okay. So here, now, before I continue, I want to show you the difference between too many and too much. Okay, for too many and for too much. Too many و too much الاتنين معناهم كتير قوي. Okay, but one is used for the countable nouns and the other one is used for the uncountable nouns. يعني بقول مثلا too much rice, too much water, too much effort, too much work. الحاجات اللي مش بتتجمع أو الكميات. Okay, but I use too many with the countable nouns, like when I say too many fruits, too many girls, too many boys, too many classes. Okay, so this is a difference between them. الاثنين معناهم كتير بس واحدة للcountable nouns and the other one is for the uncountable nouns. Okay, now let's read this short paragraph. It includes some ways of how to give advice to somebody. Okay, so I will start reading it first for you as a piece of advice, and then we will highlight together and answer the questions that are applicable on this article or passage. It's good that you don't eat fast food. كويس إنك مش بتاكل fast food, but if you feel very hungry between meals, it's good idea to have a snack. يعني لو دايما بنشعر بالجوع, it's a very good idea to have a snack, زي وجبة خفيفة كده. Okay? How about bringing a few healthy snacks to school on the days when you have athletics club. يعني how about دي طريقة من طرق الاقتراحات. ليه ما تاخدش معاك مثلا المدرسة snacks معينة لو انت عندك تمرين بعد المدرسة. If you want to have more energy, why don't you try eating more food that gives you energy like rice and pasta. برضو why don't you طريقة من طرق الادفايس. Perhaps you could eat a bigger breakfast in the morning too. طيب, let's now have the questions. Is the advice for Ali, Iman or Tamer? تفتكروا الادفايس دي is given for which person? This is the answer for Iman, because she always feels tired and she feels dizzy and she's not well all the time. Okay, is it a good advice, do you think? I think yes, definitely, because it will help her feel better whenever she has a training session, for example. Okay, find the underline 4 phrases which we can use to give advice. Okay, the first one is already highlighted for you, اللي هي it's a good idea. It's a good idea is a way of giving advice. Let's see here, where are the other ones? We have how about. How about a what about plus gerund. Okay, يعني دايما بقول how about going to school on foot to have more exercise, for example. How about يعني ماذا عن. ودي طريقة من طرق الاقتراحات, suggestions. Okay, so how about or what about are always followed by gerund, ing form of a verb. How about, it's a good idea, it's a good idea too. Okay, so it's a good idea too, or how about plus ing. Then the third one is why don't you or why don't we. برضو دي طريقة تانية للاقتراحات. Why don't you try some healthy food, for example. وبتبقى دايما آخرها question mark, وبرضو how about آخرها question mark. Okay, and then for the last phrase, perhaps you could eat a bigger breakfast in the morning too. So perhaps you could is the fourth phrase or way of giving advice. يبقى احنا هنا we covered 4 phrases for giving advice. It's a good idea, how about plus ing, why don't you or we, and then infinitive verb, and then by the last one, perhaps you could plus infinitive. Okay, why am I here focusing on those phrases? عشان we are going to use them in the dialogue later on and in the following slides. So here we have some phrases which you can use in your dialogue or in your writing. Okay, like speak to your parents. They are written on page 19, so you can go check on page 19 now. Speak to your parents, do exercise after school, do some drawing to relax. يعني ساعات الرسم بيساعد على الاسترخاء أو تهدئة الأعصاب شوية. طبعا if it's your talent, لو هي موهبتك كده يعني. Take small amounts of food but finish them. من الأحسن طبعا بدل ما ناكل وجبة مكثفة مرة واحدة, لا, it's better for us to take small amounts of food أو of meals يعني, but we have to finish them all. Okay, explain the problem and exercise can help you relax. طبعا exercise أو التمارين بتساعدنا طبعا to relax and to vent out what we feel and to release the negative energy. exercise عموما أو التمارين عموما بتساعد إن احنا نخرج negative energy. Okay, so it's very important to practice. Okay, here I bought for you, or I brought for you, I prepared it, a dialogue between 2 students. Okay, student A and student B. This is the last exercise on page 19, so you can go check the heading itself. احنا دلوقتي هنعمل dialogue between these two students using some of these expressions, or you can use all of them. يعني you can change whatever you want. Okay, this is just my sample. So student A: Hi, can I talk to you and tell you about my problem? Student B: Hi, sure you can. What's wrong with you? Student A: I love fast food and sweet things. The problem is I always feel tired whenever I go to school. I also feel dizzy يعني حاسس ان انا دايخ شوية and don't have much energy. دي مشكلة student A. So let's see the reply of student B now. If you eat too many sweets and fast food, of course you will feel so. You should speak to your parents. Also, you could take small amounts of food but finish them. هنا أنا استخدمت some expressions that are already made for us in this column. I used you should speak to your parents. لما يكون عندنا مشكلة we can speak to our parents, they can handle it. وبرضو I used another phrase, you could take small amounts of food but finish them. طبعا أنا بختار المناسب أو the suitable ones for my dialogue. If you change the dialogue totally, طبعا you are totally free to change and to take whatever you need from these expressions. Okay, let's go for the rest of the dialogue. You are right, I must stop eating unhealthy food. Then student B: How about doing more exercise? See here. When I want to make a suggestion, لما حبيت أعمل اقتراح استخدمت الفريز one of the phrases we read in the passage, in the short passage. Okay, استخدمت how about plus gerund. How about doing more exercise, and then I ended it with a question mark. Don't forget the punctuation you add by the end of every sentence or a question. I think it helps you become more active. أكيد لو عملت تمارين هتبقى active أو نشيط أكتر. Then student A's reply came: I will definitely do. أكيد هعمل كده. Thanks for your advice. فزي ما انتم شايفين احنا هنا we used the phrases we read in the short passage in the previous slide and these phrases in our dialogue. Maybe you can use them in the dialogue if you have something like this in the exam. It's very important to focus on such ways of suggestions. يعني مهم قوي انكم تركزوا على الاقتراحات وان ازاي بنعمل اقتراحات. Okay, so that was the last thing I end my session with. So quickly هنعمل ريكاب كده او نظرة سريعة على اللي احنا عملناه بسرعة النهاردة. احنا اتكلمنا عن ال unusual food in other countries like China for example. واتكلمنا عن ازاي ان احنا to use some phrases of giving suggestions or making suggestions, how to use such phrases in a dialogue. وتاني نفتكر الديالوج ده اللي هو محادثة ما بين اتنين او اكتر. اوكي، ده اللي احنا تناولناه النهارده. وبرده we focused on the difference between too many and too much. We said that too many is used for the countable nouns, الأعداد ومعناها كتير. too many كتير. too much كتير بس للكميات، الحاجات اللي هي غير قابلة للعد اللي هي uncountable nouns. Okay, so that was everything clearly for you, and next time we will be finishing unit 8 totally. Okay, so get ready for next time with your books and with your pencils, and see you next time. Thank you again and see you. Bye.